Hey guys, I am back. It is July 20th, 2017 at 1:36 in the afternoon. It has been probably a month since I've made a new video, and hopefully they will get better and better instead of worse. So in this particular episode, I have 3 stories about mail carriers, which in the city that I live in drive mail trucks. And I want to tell you that some of the ridiculous things that I have suffered that concerns these mail carriers. They are taking liberties now that should be fucking illegal. And first I'm going to point out the fact that if you don't like your fucking job, maybe you should find another one. That would be the first thing that I would do as a rational thinking human being. One thing about my personality is that even on my bad days, I do not spread the misery that I'm suffering around to others. That is just not the way that shit should be done. But these miserable motherfuckers, it does not matter where you go, the grocery store, now it's sprung into mail carriers, police officers, whatever, retail stores. These people act like they hate their fucking job. You know, do not blame the rest of the world because you have not figured out what it is that you want to fucking do yet. It is not the rest of the world's fault. For starters. But getting back to my point, ultimately quit being a fucking asshole to people when it's not their problem. Your problems are not theirs. Have some fucking respect. First story about a mail carrier. And they drive these little mail trucks around here to deliver the mail. Now in other counties they drive their own vehicle, which has a sign on it that says mail carrier. But in this town, first situation that happens, my family and I went to Outback to eat a week or so ago. And we, down the road, like a block away, see a mail carrier at a stop sign. So the road is like a T, in the shape of a T, like this. Okay? The mail carrier's here. We're driving straight. The mail carrier's sitting at a stop sign. We obviously have the right of way. So she's just sitting there. Well, we kept wondering, why is this bitch sitting here? Why is this bitch sitting there for so long? Blah, 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 blah. So we go to drive past that road, where the mail carrier is sitting at a stop sign. And no more than we get to exactly that road, than that this bitch pulls the fuck out and almost hits my car door because I am a passenger in this vehicle. And I'm telling you, she was within 3 inches of just sideswiping my mother's car with my entire family in it. Well, my mom pulls this bitch over to the side of the road and is like, what the fuck is your problem? I want your identification number and all of this. Well, this bitch was texting on the goddamn phone. A mail carrier. That's why she was sitting there for that length of time. She was too busy fucking texting. Should she not be delivering people's fucking mail? We get mail at all different kinds of times during the day here. Because they take breaks all the fucking time. You can drive to the nearest service station and there'll be 30 mail trucks sitting there hanging out. Or the nearest restaurant. They never deliver the fucking mail at a decent time. It's always like playing Russian roulette. You never know when the fuck you're going to get your goddamn mail around here. But anyhow, my mother calls the post office after she gets all this bitch's information. And you know what they say? We can't do anything about it. And my mother's like, well, next time I'll stop my fucking car and let the bitch hit me. So anyhow, that's one horror story. Another horror story about these mail carriers is the fact that I had gone down to my mother's for a weekend. Actually, I think we went to the beach. It was about a month or so ago. We went to her condo at the beach and I was gone all weekend long. But in the meantime, I had taken the curtains out of my windows to wash. So my windows were void of curtains. But there was furniture in my house and everything else. I have nosy neighbors who watch my house when I'm gone, so I had no worries about taking my curtains down and washing them. At any rate, my mail carrier sees that my house has no curtains in it, even though there are plants growing all over my fucking porch, furniture that you can clearly see through the windows. So he decides, on his very own volition, that nobody lives in the house because there's no curtains here. So I miss an entire weekend of important mail that gets returned to the sender because apparently mail carriers don't have to deliver fucking mail, which is their one goddamn primary job. And they can't even fucking do that correctly. So, the third horror story, which is the worst of them all, happened to me today. My Chihuahua knows all the mail carriers that come around here, and he does not bark at them. He is friends with them. They pet him and whatever. Well, this one fucking cocksucking asshole today, I hear my dog bark, and whenever he barks, there's some kind of a threat. So I scream his name and walk out the front door, only to see the mail carrier, a new man, trying to slap my dog with my own mail and kicking at him. Okay, first of all, the dog is doing his goddamn job. He doesn't know you, you're a threat. Second of all, trying to slap the dog or provoke the dog in any way is going to cause a fucking problem. That is common fucking knowledge. So if you're slapping it with mail, kicking at it, and doing all that, that's not the way to be. So I walk out onto my patio where the mail carrier is standing with my dog, like napping at his feet, like biting at his feet. And the motherfucker has the goddamn audacity to say, I'm not going to get tripped up or bitten. You need to come get your mail. So, I'm to the point now with these mail carriers, and the post office won't do a goddamn thing about any of these motherfuckers. So ultimately, I have come to realize that the shittier you are as a person, the more likely you are to be hired for a job. It is almost as if they, and all these personality tests and shit that they make you take now, are they even paying the least goddamn bit of attention to the people that they're fucking hiring? These people have anger management problems. They're fucking depressed. They're miserable goddamn people. And that is the only people working in customer service now. I have yet to see anybody working in the customer service industry now that has a decent fucking personality, that they do not take out their anger on other people. So here's some shit that might shock and surprise you and give you a revelation into what our world is coming to. Since I have lived in this house, I have had someone break into my house twice. Cops didn't do a goddamn thing about it. My ex-boyfriend tried to fucking kill me. Cops didn't do a goddamn thing about it. Okay? I was kidnapped one time, 2 years ago approximately. The cops couldn't do a goddamn thing about it, even though the guy left his fucking license in my house. And I gave it to them. Okay? So, a couple weeks ago, I had my door open, my front door open, because I like to breathe oxygen like any normal person and air my house out constantly. I have my front door open and a cop appears on my fucking porch. Well, and I just sat on my bed. I was like, and he was hollering my name and shit. At first I thought it was one of my friends, but he's like, this is the Hickory City Police Department. And I was like, can I help you? I didn't even acknowledge, like, I didn't walk out there or anything. I said, can I help you? And he was like, well, can I see you? And I'm like, I suppose so. Let me put on a shirt. Because half the time it's so fucking hot down here, I sit here in my bra. Well, anyhow, I walk out there and he was like, oh, I was just checking on you because your front door was standing open. And I didn't know if someone had broken into your house. I didn't know if something had gone awry. And I said, well, first of all, like I've said in my other videos, you just walk past my no goddamn trespassing sign, which you cannot be doing. That in and of itself is breaking the fucking law and my constitutional right. Second of all, I didn't tell him this, but I'm 40 goddamn years old, or I will be in 1 month, okay? I am grown. If I want to leave my goddamn front door open, leave all my fucking windows open, leave my back door open, leave my car doors open, I can do that. This is a fucking free country, or at least at one point in time it was. And it's still part of our constitutional right. I don't want somebody walking up on my goddamn porch and telling me that I can't have my fucking front door, car doors, windows, back door, any of that shit open. I can have whatever. I own this goddamn house. I can have whatever the fuck I want open. And I can handle myself if there's a threat. Well, if that wasn't bad enough, last week I had insomnia. So I was up all night watching TV and doing all this. I left my dog outside and I had my front door open again because there was a cool breeze blowing through. And I noticed out the corner of my eye over at the window here an LED light, which is one of these bright fucking lights. And I thought, who the fuck is in my yard? So I walked to the front door in my night clothes, mind you, and there are 2 cops and 2 different vehicles in my fucking yard. And they were like, ma'am, what is the address here? And I told them my address. And I said, can I help you with something? And they're like, well, your front door was standing open, so we thought something might be wrong. So now all of a sudden these motherfuckers are getting goddamn proactive? Is this what you're trying to tell me? So they can't help you with any situation unless it's spontaneous and out of the blue. They did not help me when my ex tried to kill me, when my house was broken into, or when I got kidnapped. But now suddenly, they're interested in my goddamn welfare, all because my front door is open and my dog is on my lawn outside. I call bullshit. First of all, I have very severe post-traumatic stress, and seeing shit like that in the middle of the night gets me in the mental state of being extremely goddamn defensive. I do not like people in my fucking yard. Second of all, why are 2 different cops in 2 different cars coming to check on my well-being? That is not a fucking coincidence. I could understand it being 1, but 2 in 2 different cars? That sounds like a fucking con to me. You know what, I want to end this video on another subject, but first I want to say, in reference to my last little rant, I am disappointed enough to say that I do not want no fucking cops around me at all, or any mail carriers. I am completely fucking disappointed in the fact that I don't even trust these motherfuckers. I can handle my goddamn own when it comes to my well-being. It's obvious I'm going to have to. I've had to do it 3 fucking times, actually 4 times, and there was no cop around. They wouldn't even fucking help. So I don't even want their goddamn help. I can handle shit on my own. And it's obvious that that is exactly what I'm going to have to fucking do so they can keep the fuck off my property. I have no desire for their help whatsoever. But I'm going to end this video. I was talking to this guy the other day, and he said that he either wanted a massage or to hang out. So it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth as usual, because these motherfuckers cannot, these goddamn millennials, and that's exactly what they are. Anybody under 30 is a millennial, and I cannot stand them motherfuckers. They cannot make up their mind about shit. At all. So back and forth, massage, hang out, massage, hang out, massage, hang out. Then all of a sudden, and this is one of my worst goddamn pet peeves ever, this motherfucker out of the blue. Well, what do you think about having a little bit of casual fun? Everybody that knows me or has seen these videos knows that that shit grates on my goddamn nerves. For me to be engaged in a fucking conversation for anything over 10 minutes, and this conversation verged on an hour and a half, back and forth through text, which I also despise. And this motherfucker, I'm telling you, trying to sneak their way in. And that's exactly what that is. First it was, I want a massage or I want to just hang out. Well, after I explained, you know, the difference in the two, he all of a sudden comes out an hour after he decides he wants one or the other, or tries to decide, and says, well, what about a little bit of casual fun? Have you ever just had a fling? I'm too goddamn old to be having one fucking night stands. It's that simple. I don't care for it. I don't want to participate in it. I'm not a fucking whore. Go on Craigslist or whatever, Backpage or whatever, and find a fucking whore. That is not me. I don't care for it. So anyhow, the thing that kills me the most and pisses me off the most is the fact that these motherfuckers try to sneak their way in through all this conversation and beat around the goddamn bush instead of just coming out and saying what it is the fuck that they want to begin with. I hate people that do that shit. If you ask a question of me, I'm going to come right the fuck out and tell you what I want. I'm not going to beat around the fucking bush. I, earlier, in an earlier video, discussed that about my boyfriend at the time and trying to pick a fucking restaurant. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch that. I do not like people that cannot make instant decisions. Or at least say, I don't know yet, give me a few minutes to decide. Or, if it's a huge decision, give me a while to decide. I need time frames. That is just my fucking personality. I'm extremely direct. So anyhow, I'll put my contact information at the end of this. If you can, please get subscribers for me. If you don't have a YouTube account, you really don't have to. If you've got a Gmail account, you can subscribe to my videos. And the only reason I want subscribers is because I want people to see just how fucked up this goddamn world is becoming.